Hey everyone, welcome back to my series on Transport Fever 2. I hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year's. I did. I really enjoyed the break. I'm back, it's 2026, and I'm feeling refreshed. I've had very little screen time. For a period of time, I didn't even have access to my games. So I'm really eager in the new year now to get back into things again. Uh, I have had a little bit of gameplay and I have tidied up a few things here and there, but for today, we are here in Bracknell. We're here in Bracknell and we have a machine parts here. Yeah, machines factory, which is doing all right. It's got a little bit of capacity there. But I'm going to try and focus on simplifying a lot of earlier stuff that needed a bigger capacity of vehicles, which I no longer require anymore. Like I don't need 5 platforms here. Um, Back in the day when I had smaller trucks, when this city was growing, this is the truck stop I needed when the city was growing. But I don't think it's what I need now. So let's have a look at it. So we got this blue line here that bugs out on the Bracknell All. They don't use the alternate platform. So what I'm going to start with doing is telling it to use 3 and turn that alternate platform off. And then, oops. And then I've got the fuel over on the side there. What am I trying to do? What are you trying to do, Sims? You want the fuel and you want to switch that to 4. Okay. And we've got trucks stacking over here, but like I don't think I need, like, this is the food line, and when the food train comes in, it drops off like 400 or 500 or something. Do we have capacity for that? Yeah, we've got in the warehouses we've got 550. So I can get rid of some of these warehouses and I can get rid of this platform. And now we've got our goods all and our fuel. Did a fuel truck just leave? I think a fuel, or is this is the guy that's coming back around? This is the guy that just looped around. Okay, and he's basically full. What have we got coming in? Nothing. There's nothing behind us. All right, so let's tell let's tell you to go. So I can see another one coming down. So my question is do I have too many on the blue truck line that they'll stack now and have a problem? I don't think I need 2 fuel trucks on the line, and I don't think I need this many on the food line. It's like he's probably leaving empty. He's leaving with 1. And that's because how long are they waiting for? "90 seconds." All right, well, back in the day, that probably made sense to just get them to go, 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 go. But these days, we definitely don't need extras, obviously. All right, I think that truck stop is much better. Now all steel goes in here. I want to drop off a tiny little bit of fuel. Yeah, So the one fuel truck should be all right. And here comes our food train with 459 on board. It can carry 560. And it's still carrying the old goods wagons that can carry a lot of different items. But we're just carrying food on this train. So and he's leaving with one again. Like, yeah, like this is ridiculous. They're leaving with one machine part. But the goods will come in. The food will come in on this food train. So 450 is going to drop in, and we can hold what 475 plus the 120. So there's 200 in warehouse. Okay, so now our truck should start operating a little better. Playing catch up instead of waiting around all day. Now, there's only one train on this line. And I'm thinking, look, let's get rid of these old cars. Let's see if we can get this train. I don't know if this train can do more than 120. Well, let's find out. Let's go to. I think it waits a long time down the other end when it's picking up the food. So if that's the case, we don't need as much capacity. We've got 5,400 horsepower at a good rating. That has the potential to do 160 if we upgrade our line. Let's pause it for a second because this guy's coming in, right? Or is he leaving? He's got lights on the front and he's leaving. And if there's only one train on this line, what if we just gave them their own lines? I think that's better if we give them their own line so they don't get in each other's way. So just give me a second here. Okay, if I get rid of the crossover there, and I tell steel, just use 3, don't use, well, that's at cargo, I'm looking at steel. Well, I just use 1. Okay, now they're split, right? I don't need any signaling on any of this at all. And now it's really just 1 on each line. And then, what if we even, that's the decision maker. What if we said you don't even need to make a decision anymore? Well, that's weird that the lines are separated. And we just give them their own platform down here. So the steel at cargo wants 2 and not 3. And then the food will do the same, but you can have 3 but not 2. And now they should all have their own lines. Now, this is weird. This is the decision maker. This is the decision maker to go into the platform down at the food. Like, but that's because there's not a single signal all the way down those lines, and there doesn't need to be. And then what? Let's just pause here. What is this weirdness here? Like, why is it separating from each other? So we'll track that back into there. Oh, Sims, you don't need that. Okay, gone. Okay, a little bit of weed. Okay, so now why don't we upgrade this to high speed? Because we just put a 160 train on this food line, and it's on its way down now, or is it on its way back? It's on, oh, here you go. So now they can both, see, they would have got in each other's way. One of them would have had to wait for the other. But now we've got a train. Okay, so he's doing 120. And now he goes over into 121. So he didn't even get to 120 here. Okay. So we're not getting a really good use out of our high-speed line. I don't even think we need that change over there, which means we don't need that signal there. And we'll continue down to the station. Okay, we don't have any signaling here. The question will be, did he leave much behind with the 400 capacity? Doesn't look like he probably did, actually. Right, well, that's improved. I think that's improved this area a lot. Performance-wise, profitability, and file save problems, which I am experiencing. Now, this train is our blue line with all of the different goods that are on it. So this has got a bit of everything on it this time. A lot of steel. And a lot more food just came in. So let's just have a look at our warehousing space. We're still at 200. So I might have dropped too many green trucks. Okay, let's take a ride back with this guy. A little bit jumpy. Coal train's filling up. So we are cruising when we're empty. So we got to 120 pretty quickly when we're empty. So on the trip back, that's where we're getting the huge advantage. On the trip down, a smaller van. Look at all the goods here waiting for that, for the steel train. And we're heading down here to Bolton. We've got a farm here on the left, which is bringing the grain in by a truck here. Are they stacking? One's waiting with another one coming in. That's not too bad. Passing underneath our express train viaduct. Looks like one's coming into the station now. And one pulling out. So we've got some stacking on this end of the line with the all stations train coming in as well. So it's going to be really busy up here. But yeah, our grain trucks just drop in here to this little loop that we've got. And we're going to pick up here. How much? Is it going to fill up to 400? I wouldn't imagine. No, not even 300 because we're going down and coming back so fast. We're now turning a better profit, which makes me look at our earnings. It's around minus 100, minus 80. That's probably because I've got I'll need to check the maintenance on everybody. But this one, what if we dropped one and went 360? What is it sitting at now? It's coming up to 300. All right, so that's quite a short train now. Here's a problem that I'm solving with a waiting time here now. So a small problem that you have if you've got a lot of passengers on your trains now, where if you increase your train capacity, okay, and we've increased our train capacity now to level 3 on the passengers equals seats mod. And so our express can carry 500 plus, and our all stations can carry 700 plus. But what ends up happening, he waits here for a little while now. Because if you get a train that's carrying 566, the weight is significant. And it travels slower. And then if a train comes in behind it and carries less than 566, the weight is less, which means it travels faster, which means it catches up over time to the train in front. And if you don't have any waiting time, you will get trains catching up, and then each time they leave with less than the one that was before it. So it will keep catching up until it's, following right behind it and carrying nothing. That's kind of a problem with extra capacity trains. By increasing the capacity, you increase the way the trains will stack up on each other. So you do need to look at some waiting time on your trains, on lines that have got multiple trains on them. So we're talking about our Kendal to Bolton Express here. And it's got 3 trains on it. So what I want them to do is stay apart from each other. And the further apart they are, the more even the passengers will be on each train. Now he's carrying 360 instead of 400, which means he's waiting less. He takes off a little bit earlier, right? Which means he can come down here a little faster and he can get 360 food down to here on a more regular basis. Instead of waiting for 400, 450, 500. What was it originally? It was over 500 originally. And so our fuel truck is cool because it's just got a fuel delivery that just came in. And it didn't even fill up the one truck. And then our blue trucks just got a little bit more goods on this train. That's probably pulling out now. And so they're kind of keeping that in check. And our food trucks, well, I got a funny feeling I maybe took probably one too many of it. How much is there? If you calculate that up, that's 30, 40, 50, 60. That's only one truckload that's sitting there. And here comes our food train down the line. And he should be doing better than one. This is where he got to about 120 last time. Yeah. So he's doing a little bit better now. So he gets down here faster. Looks like he's not even going to go into the negative. He probably will stay in the positive. And I did say I wanted to check on the maintenance. Let's have a look at that. We'll go all vehicles. Oh, no, don't select it like that. Yeah, very high. I guess this train wasn't set to very high because I just upgraded it. So I'll just hit apply again. So he's now going to be running it very high and he's going to lose a lot more money. I'm losing 100 million when I'm at very high. We'll switch that back to normal in a minute. So the food came in when this guy came in and almost emptied the platform. We just got another 258 food in. I think I should probably put one. We've got 6 trucks on there. Okay, so I'll put one extra on there. I think if there is one waiting here every now and then, that's not a problem. This should empty out basically with another one coming in. All right, much more efficient. A lot better on the file save with the yard being removed here. This train is emptying this platform with a full load. That's cool. That looks pretty good. Okay. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back again and I'm down here at Hemsworth now. I wanted to quickly show you something that I've done just recently. So I do have sandbox mode on. And the reason for that was I went and rebalanced each of the cities down slightly again. So what I mean by that is the custom land use size, the base size of the cities, I've actually dropped them down again a little. And if you look at our graph for, say, somewhere like Hemsworth, it did sort of level out, but I've brought it down again. Now, what I did notice was that this construction materials plant was basically supplying very little. In fact, if you look at the red lines there of um, the red lines are what's shipped, it was shipping a bit over 200. And so what I did is I turned it off and shut it down and took away its connection because we've got another construction materials here and um, it's been running around about 600 or high 500s. And so the little bit of production that was coming out of here has been shared around a number of other construction materials factories that are on the map. And so it was kind of pointless having this one, especially seeing we got rid of the stone as well. And it really was just producing it. We didn't really need it. And we've got another one close by here in Maghull, and then even another one just up the line here at Woodham, and you can see that the construction materials is quite low, and so getting rid of one of them was really easy to do actually. But to tell you the truth, the tools have changed as well. This tools factory used to supply quite a bit. Now it's only supplying like less than 200. And it's made me think about this one as well, because just down here we had a tools factory that shut down due to trucks being jammed in the truck stop. But it's the preferred tools factory, one of the preferred tools factories on the map now. And it's supplying 600. And it's supplying the 600 locally to Woodham and then down south to Maghull, Swindon and Staines. So it's got me thinking about, like this one here has 200 capacity. And the one over at Hemsworth has 200 capacity as well. And so the one up on the hill here, which is the Bolton Tools Factory, it's producing 200. And I think we can get rid of that. Now I might do that next episode, because this is quite a complicated project. So what I'm proposing to do is move the tools up this truck line to Bolton. And then from Bolton, we can supply tools into here, and we can supply the tools to Bracknell. That's replacing the tools that is here. Yeah, Bracknell 130 and 63. So we would need to truck 200, and we could do that. We could truck 200 up here. And so the big problem will be to get it to deliver into this truck stop. Now I could, bring this truck stop across here and into this truck stop. I don't really like that idea. I kind of got a spot here that I could potentially use as a truck stop. I'll just pause it. I don't think that breaks the link on this side. No, it doesn't break any links there. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then so I need this truck line to empty. And the reason why you're not emptying is because you're planks only, and we just had a planks train drop off. Yeah. Okay, you're empty now, so let's pause it and say this line here. Okay, that should be the truck depot. It is. Unusual name for my truck stop. So we're going to add the station in. And then we need to replicate whatever this does. So it delivers planks and goods down the line. So if I replace that with planks and goods down the line, we now can delete this one, rename this Bolton Truck Depot. That'll do. And before it, it picks up plastics, and before that it picks up tools. So we want to say now pick up tools. Okay. Okay, so this is connected. That's not a problem. And these guys are moving down to our new truck stop here. Where are you off to? You're going to turn around and go down the other end? Oop. I don't think you'll turn around in there, will you? You're empty. I don't think I want you to go down empty. I think I want you to turn back around. But while the truck stop is empty, we should pause. Delete this. How about we move these station buildings out of the way? What I'm thinking here is just have some smaller ones at the truck stop and bring that double lane road, 100km/h road down from here to here. Get rid of the... Can we get rid of the lights here? Yes, we can. Okay, and then replace the connection on this side with a cargo building. Can this fit in? Not quite. You need a little bit more room, Sims. You don't have room there because you just widened out that road. But these will fit in, right? Yeah. Let's do a couple of those. Okay. And well, we'll just touch this up a touch. No, that one. We'll leave all that as grass, will we? No, that can all be dirt. This can be dirt in here. But the whole block? Okay. Alright, so that's fixed the truck stop up. We'll turn him around. And so now we have the ability to deliver tools into here. Maybe what we could do is get rid of this here. Grab a train line with no catenary. Come around the corner here, seems. Get across. Is that bugged out? No, that's smooth. And then we want to head down there to Bracknell. So what if we come to about here? What's that? That signal's a leftover from when the double line used to come through here. And then we jump over to here. Is that cutting through the land too much? No, that's pretty good, right? And then bring it down along this one. And then we have to work out how we're getting into the station here. All right, so what are our choices here? Straight through? How do we get straight through? Or even stop here? Well, what if we... So I've started using some of these half platforms that are around, because that is the iron platform that's dropping off there. So what if we replace the iron platform, which is just a drop-off platform, and what are we going, high speed through here? Okay, so that now gives us the option to stop there. That will be the iron train that's on the wrong platform now at Bracknell Steel. Flicked it over to 5. No, it's got to be like in the middle there. Yeah, 3. That's better. That's fixed. Okay. And then what if we wanted to run... what if we wanted to run all the way down to Bracknell? What if we went from there? You're going to let me switch into there? Well, you should have... Just doesn't look right. But it's a very long switch. Go from... And I want it to snap, right? It's not going to snap. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so if we went all the way down, we'd just want... We'd want them to pick... Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay. It just wants to pick who's going on. And you would need to pick who's going there, which one you're choosing. Okay, so if I put in a new line now, and we say from Bolton all the way down to Bracknell, you should be using the same platform on the right. You are. You should have the option to stop at this platform if you wanted to, but we're not. We're going to go all the way through. You go through there, you go through there. Okay. What are you carrying? Who cares, Sims? Whatever they want. You're sharing a platform with the red, which I think is that's the steel train. We don't want it to carry steel down, that's for sure. Yeah, we'll have to be careful of that. No picking up steel, no picking up planks, no picking up plastic. We will have to pick what we want to carry here, right? You want to take conmats, you make machine parts locally. You want to take fuel, you want to take tools. You don't want to take food because we've already got a food train running, and you want to take goods. Yes. And then I'll just name it. Just name it Bolton to Bracknell Goods. And a train would come out of here. Okay, let's put a train on this line. And we'll get the line moving before we get rid of the other line. The existing line. So what do we want on this? We definitely want some goods, right? We could have some, we need some conmats, and we need some fuel. And then we'll have a few more goods, because I think it might need to be adjusted in the future, but I think that's good enough to get us started. I don't think it's too long. So let's press go. Is he... Oh, you got to put him on the line, Sims. What are you doing? You got to put him on the line. Okay. And we can see that orange line there, Bolton to Bracknell Goods. Okay, he's on the line. Okay, so there's one last thing before I finish up today that I would like to discuss and share. Okay, so this new line that we've put in is a single line with a single train. Now, most players would recognize that Sims, you actually don't need any signaling on this line, especially the section where it doesn't share with anybody else, and that is 100% true. Single train on a single line does not need any signaling. However, if I am going to share it anywhere down here, I would need to consider signaling. And we already have a signal here, which he's just blown straight through, which is excellent. which means our food train isn't down this end of the line. So he's going straight through. So I do need a signal here because this is where he's going to share. These two trains are going to share with each other. When the trains come back this way, I've got a signal here for each line. And what we call a decision maker signal. And we're going to look at the orange, so we get a big orange arrow above it. And if we look at the blue, we get a big blue arrow above it. And effectively what that means is at this signal, the blue line will make a decision to stop at the next platform. So on the blue line, he's making a decision to pull into this platform here. That's his next stop. He doesn't actually stop at this platform back here. Now, if you were going to stop at that platform, you would still need this signal. It would just be making the decision to stop here. And you can see that this is a decision maker to stop at the platform down at Bracknell. And we can pick the orange, and this is a decision for the orange to stop at Bracknell, which means when it goes through here, it owns the platform down at Bracknell, and the food train has to wait until it's available. When it is available, then it can go down there. Okay? This one here is the decision maker on the way back for our Bolton train, our new Bolton train. So when he comes back, when he comes through this signal, he will be allocated the platform at Bolton. He will own it. It will be his platform to stop at when he passes through there. And here he comes, okay? Now, if there is a train at Bolton Station, he will actually stop here and be delayed. And we don't want that, okay? If there is a train at Bolton, we don't want him to stop here for it. Now, let's pause it for a second and let's see if there is one. No, it's all clear, all right? So he's going to fly straight through here. He's not going to stop, which is cool. That's what we want. We don't want him to stop, okay? So there we go. He's within range of it, and he gets the green. Now, Bolton is his platform. This platform has now been assigned to our Bracknell train, our new Bracknell train, which means if any train rolls up here, he's going to get a red. And here's the train I'm thinking of here. Okay, so this train here, he cannot come into Bolton. Now he's going to have a decision maker just here. There it is there. And this decision maker was here because if a train was in the platform and coming out, he would have to wait for a train in front of him to come back out. But there is no train in the platform waiting to come back out. However, it looks clear and open, but it is not. And we'll look at his speed and he will start slowing down. 81, 82, 83, 84, decrease speed probably about now. There we go. I'm going to pause it. He's slowing down on a red light. And it does say, sorry, let me put that back up again. And it does say waiting for free path. But you would think there's a free path here for him to come in. but there isn't, because this train all the way back here already owns the platform. Now, how do you fix a problem like this? If you have this train coming from all the way back here owning the platform, that's a real problem. You might want someone else to come in here and use it. By the time he gets here, it might be almost free. So what you want on a single train on a single line that shares a platform on the other end, you want a signal here. The reason you want the signal here is you want to make this signal the decision-making signal. The signal closest to the station here is the decision maker. And as we can see now, we have the decision-making arrow here. And because he isn't here yet, the platform is now free and open. He hasn't been assigned the platform yet. And our train doing 76 is now going back up to 76, 78, and he comes through on a green light. So I think a lot of players might have difficulty with decision-making signals. It is the last signal closest to the station that assigns the platform. While we're waiting here, I do outies. Let me just discuss outies for 2 seconds. All of these lines here, which were really busy lines in the past, they've got signals to do outies here. Now, you don't need them. Effectively, the train station is a signal, but it's not a decision maker. You need the decision maker here for trains to come in and out. Not out, but no, you need in this unique situation, you need a signal to come in. You won't find these signals are in signals. They're all out signals at my platforms. Now, you don't actually need these out signals because the station is effectively, each line coming out of a station is a signal for the outies. Works really well for them. But on really busy lines, I want to be able to look at a train and have a train roll up onto an outie, and then I know that it's ready to leave. So let's go again. And so if this one had an outie, but it couldn't leave yet, it would roll up onto the out signal, and it would stop there if there was a train blocking it. And so these trains on these outies, if they stopped on the out, I know that they're not loading anymore, that they're just waiting to leave. And on really busy hubs, it works really well for me just to visually see trains that are sitting in a platform just waiting to leave. All right, this one doesn't have an outie. It's not a busy line, so I never put one on it. And this train is waiting for it to clear. But as soon as that train in front of us clears the platform, about now, it turns green and lets this train come in. So if I had put an outie here, it would work in the same way. So they can be helpful if you put an out here and here. As soon as he cleared that signal, he would have been coming in. And effectively he was. I think he just ran probably all the way up to this point here, and then he let him come in. Yeah, so just a little note on signaling, you don't need these outies. All those out signals are my preference. I like trains that roll up on the out. So if this train here was blocked and couldn't leave, and you didn't have the outie, he would just sit there and he would look like he's got waiting time, loading still, or waiting to load. But instead he would roll up to there and stop at that signal just here until the line was clear for him to leave. And then when I look at that, I know, oh, he's waiting to leave. When I look at that train sitting at that signal, that's basically what it tells me. But if he was sitting in the middle of the platform, it would tell me, oh, he's on waiting time. Do I want him on waiting time? Is he loading? No, he's not loading anything, but he's waiting. So like maybe I go and adjust the waiting time. If he's waiting here, it means, no, he's ready to go. It's not a waiting time issue. It's just the line isn't clear. Maybe you need to look at your signaling better. So I just use the outies to help me. They're not necessary. But this signal is necessary on this platform so that we can use the platform efficiently. Okay, enough of your signaling discussion, Sims. That should do for the day. I am going to jump on our new train. I'd like to thank you all for watching today. It's so good to be back, actually. I hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year's. I'm really looking forward to 2026 and Transport Fever 3. I think I'm going to wind down how often I do episodes on this series. I'm going to focus a little bit more on my Race to the North series. And I am thinking of taking on a new project, maybe the last project that I'd take on before Transport Fever 3 comes out. So I'm looking for a new map to play. If you have any suggestions, be great to hear them. Drop a message in the comments. In my mind at the moment, I am thinking of Big Freight by Steven Spry. Big Freight on console. That's what I'm thinking of at the moment. So, you know, if you've got any other suggestions, I would definitely consider them. I'll definitely go and have a look. Yeah, but I might take on something new for the new year. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye for now.